All right, having studied in the UK as an international student, coming here to study involves a lot of capital, a lot of time is involved, a lot of mental ability is required. In fact, it is entirely a capital intensive project for one to come in from overseas to study in this very country. All right, guys. So recently I was chatting with one of the agents who usually shares information about, admission in the various universities in the UK to my WhatsApp message. So he sent me one of those messages. First and foremost, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. My name is Chinyere Ojike. Forgive my manners, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Chinyere Ojike, a mom vlogger here in the UK. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please like this video, I beg of you. All right. So he was like, it's a no-no that my sister should just take up a course in marketing or business, that the most important thing is for my sister to leave the country where she's currently staying. Just like a lot of people have always come to my inbox telling me that they just want to Japan. This is just their major concern, no matter the course, no matter the program. All they want is to leave that particular point where they are to abroad, to Japan. What point am I trying to drive at? My sister I think she stammers when she talks. If you think about the role of a marketer in a bank or in any company, you know what a marketing job is. For you to say, okay, come out here, come do marketing, and once you do it, that the major point is for you to come out. You didn't even consider whether my sister will be able to get a job at the end of her program here after spending huge amount of money. No course is cheap in this very country. Even when they tell you that universities are giving discount £1,000 convert £1,000 to naira, you know how much it is. Almost 700 and something thousand or over 500,000, which is the amount you can even use to study for 3 years in Nigeria, if I am not telling the truth. Sorry, if I'm not wrong, correct me please. So you have to consider all this. Do you really have interest in the course you are coming here to study, or because you just want to you just choose anyhow course, and on getting to this place, or after your on getting to this place in your school, you are expected to pass your modules before you will be able to qualify to apply for the post-study work visa. What if you do not have interest in that course? You don't even understand. Maybe you're switching from course A to course B. You studied something like marketing and you come here, you pick up a nursing job. Can you really cope? Do you really have interest switching, or because that is where it pays? And another important point for you to consider before making choice of any course in the UK is to consider if that course that you are choosing, if the course has a job prospect in the UK job market. Is it employable? Is it a qualification that will land you on a job soon after graduation? Is it also a qualification that you need to have an additional skill for you to be sellable in the job market in the UK? Is that course a course that will be able to sell you out in the job market soon after graduation, and not just anyhow degree? Now, here are certain degrees you should not study in the UK if you really want to settle down in the UK soon after your graduation, if you really want to get a job in your field. And remember, there is what is called UK occupation shortage list. It will also be of your own interest to Google up the UK shortage occupation list before ever you choose a course to study in this very country. Now, the most important thing in this country, studying in the UK, is this. You can easily switch from an engineering course to a health program in this very country. If an engineer could switch to nursing in this very country, it is something very easy. Now, if you have a degree in an engineering in your country, you can easily take up a nursing degree in this country for just 2 years. So look up for UK shortage occupation list. You will see the list of courses that have high job prospects in this very country. Make sure that you're choosing from the list, so that at the end of your program here, you wouldn't be left out. Now, here are the list of some degrees that you shouldn't study in the UK. You shouldn't spend your money taking up any of these degrees in the UK, so that you wouldn't cry foul at the end of your program. BA education. This is number one. Durham University those days. You spend 3 years of your life learning about learning. You don't actually need this BA in education for you to become a teacher. Look up when you see job opportunities for teachers. They specify the subject they want the person to take up. Maybe they want a teacher in mathematics. They want a teacher in health and physical education, a teacher in maths, a maths teacher. they specify the subjects where they want you to teach. But when you go to school studying BA education is like general learning about education. You are not specified. When looking for a job, you might find it difficult to get a particular subject to teach because you did not specialize on a given subject like literature or like I've just listed. So should I say it's a waste of time and waste of money? Sorry to say that. Secondly, we have courses like languages, linguistics, classics. Employability rates on these very courses is just 78% according to statistics. Next, we have communication and media, 83.2% employability rate. Coming to the UK to study media and communication, it is something that might be a bit off the track because you are coming from a background where English is probably not the major lingua franca. Unless you grow up in the UK, you attended a secondary school or high school here in the UK, it will be easy for you to flow in the British accent, English accent. Yeah. Someone coming from Nigeria to study this, I think it might be a bit hard, yeah, because Nigeria has over 250 ethnic group or languages, if I'm not mistaken here, So we all have our accent, we all have our English accent. You can even hear it from my expression here. Coming here to study media, oh my goodness, it is something a bit difficult for you to get a job in. Hence, you are not of native English speaker. Now, remember, getting a job as a teacher here in the past was there's this restriction that they always need a native English speaker. They talk more of you applying to become a presenter, a broadcaster, or what do you call them in a media outlet. They would first consider your intonation, your accent before you can get a job in this field. So it's a program, master's degree, that wouldn't be advisable for someone spending that huge amount of money to come here and study, unless you grow up here as a child. You are used to the, British accent. That would be great for you. Next is humanities and library arts. I don't know how much they get paid. It's not something you spend that amount of money to come study in this very country. Now, creative art and design, that's another one. It might sound fascinating, but I don't think it's an ideal program for one to, spend £10,000, £9,000 in a year to come study such a program from international perspective. Yes, people who are already here, who have free education, who have funding, they can enroll to study this. Hence, the government is funding their program in this very field. Psychology is another one. Psychology pays though, but basically remember that after studying psychology for 3 long years, you still need about another 3 years for you to be registered into the British Psychology is it program or something, BPS or thereabout, for you to be certified, for you to become a certified psychologist in this country. You need another 3 to 4 years for you to do so. So think very well, research very well before ever you take up any study you want to come here do and spend that amount of money. Yes, because I remember this friend of mine who studied psychology as a single honor. At the end of our study, when she realized that she has to do that 3 years again or 4 years again, she cried bitterly. She was like, she just wasted time. Despite that she had funds, despite that her study here was funded by the UK government, she was still disappointed having spent 3 years. And she wouldn't get a job unless she goes on to do another program. So think twice before you choose any course to study here. Philosophy and religious studies. This is another one. Employability rates here is just 82% chances. Look at it very well before you jump into that. Now, Masters in Consumer Behavior is another one. University of Goldsmiths in London or thereabout offers this program. What does this entail? How to create and sustain customers, consumer behavior or experience and pricing and all what have you. Sometimes you don't even need a degree to work in this aspect. It might be a skill training that you require to get on to boost whatever degree you've got. So going to university to study this kind of program, especially paying from an international background, especially coming from an international background, you don't need things like this. Unless you are here, the government is paying for your program. You can go to the university to study dance, to study anything of your choice. Fantastic. Hence, the government is paying. Good and fine. And the final one is politics. Politics in your country is different from the politics you play here. Unless after studying politics in the UK, you go back to your country to practice, because You need to study politics in the UK, understand it, digest it, be able to take up a position in the grassroots before you can get a position as a politician anywhere or in any political sector in this very country. So reason it well before you come here to study international politics. Now the list is horology. Birmingham City University offers this. It's the study of clocks and watches. Yes, I wonder who wears watches in this current time, because a lot of people, they can easily check their cell phone, for time and all them stuff. All right, guys, so this is it for this very content. I wish you all the best, but in making a choice of a course to come study abroad, not only in the UK, always look up in their shortage occupation list, to see the courses that are of high demand in that very country. Possibly, I would come up with courses that are of high demand in the UK shortage occupation list. It's a bit complicated going through it. I might have to break it down for everyone to understand it in one of the videos I'll be coming up with. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this content. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like this video and keep coming for more. And I wish you a happy stay. Good luck as you process your visa to come to the UK for your program. Bye for now. See you in my next upload.